Hi, welcome to this series of writing course. In this series, we will be working on opinion writing. But before we start to talk about anything on writing or on what opinion writing is, let me first introduce myself. My name is Priyanka, and I will be your coach, tutor, guide for this entire series. And I will be helping you through these instructions to encourage you to write a story. You are the author here, and I am just going to be here to give you some tips, some instructions, and what I love to call as sparks, which are like ideas to think about and ideas that will actually inspire you to write those stories. Anyways, let's get started. So I call this part one. So in this part, we are going to be working on a very important part of our story writing, which is the author's bio. So, whenever you have picked up a book, you have always looked at something that is called an author's bio or about the author. It usually appears after the first page or at the end of the book. There is always something about the author that tells us a little bit about what the author was thinking, what the author's favorite books are, or what they love to eat, what their favorite colors are. So that's what is called an author's bio. And trust me, through this series, you are going to become an author, because if you're writing a story, you are an author, you are a writer, and the readers would love to know about you. So before we start writing our story, let's start exploring a little bit about who you are as an author. To help you with that, I am going to be reading a little bit about an author from a book that I love. This is Victor and Violet Write the Best Bookworm Book, and it's written by Alice Coopers. So here is it's a very short author's bio, so I feel like this is a great way to help us think about what should be included in our author's bio. So this one says, Alice Coopers is British but lives in Canada. She is the award-winning author of 3 young adult novels, and she was working on the 4th when Violet and Victor came along. Alice can be found here, alicecoopers.com. I know this one looks very different or sounds very different from what I want you to write about, but this gives us an idea that an author's bio doesn't need to be very long, but it needs to be important enough that it captures relevant things about the author. So here are a few ways that you can start writing about your author's bio. Simplest way to start is by your name. The second important thing to think about while writing author's bio is that it is always written in third person. So when you think about third person, it is when a person is talking about another person by name or by naming pronouns like he, she, or they. So for example, I am speaking to you as I, which is first person. And then when I'm talking to someone, I usually will ask about how you are doing, who are you? So you is the second person. But when I'm talking about a person who is not here, that's third person. So for example, how on this book we read that Alice Coopers is the author of this book. So just remember that when you're writing about your author's bio, write about yourself as a third person. Write about yourself as if your friend is talking about you while you are not there. So, who you are. The third thing I think are some important things to capture in your author's bio is name, where you live, and maybe about your pets, which grade you are in this case, and what your favorite things are. Do you love to read? Do you love to paint? Do you love to play basketball, soccer? Do you love to play chess or any other board games? So these are a few things to think about while you write your author's bio. All right, now get going. And the first thing you're going to do is log on to your Google Classroom and bring up the assignment that I have assigned to you. and use the first page to write your author's bio. The other thing to think about is, how does the author look like? So if you are comfortable with it, or if your parents are okay with it, I would love for you to have a little picture of you and attach it um, just where your author's bio starts. So it can be your picture on top and then the bio that you'll be writing about. All right. Have a fun time writing about yourself. Don't forget to write in third person, and a few details to think about while you're writing your author's bio. I am never too keen on spellings, but some things that I would love for you to remember while you write it is that don't forget that you don't need to repeat your name multiple times. You can use he, she, or they as you like to call yourself. Don't forget full stops and spacing after a sentence ends, and starting the next sentence with a capital letter. All right. Have fun writing your author's bio, and I'll see you in the next part.